Hello, today we're going to be moving into our strength. And that is because we're going to be doing two warrior poses, warrior 1 and warrior 2. Again, you'll be seeing those right now, warrior 1 and warrior 2. And actually I think they're the wrong way around, because I think warrior 2 is easier than warrior 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to warrior 2 first, then warrior 1. And not only that, we're going to actually learn how to transition in and out of warrior and up and back from warrior, and you'll know what I mean when we actually get into the meat of the class. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working on our warrior 1 and warrior 2. Get to your mat and let's go. Hey, so starting this class, I'm going to show you the warrior 2 and then the warrior 1. So they're in like reverse order, as I've just said. I'm going to show you them, then we're going to break it down, working from the ground up, creating a strong foundation, then bringing the upper body into it. And then we'll go through those nice transitions in and out, back and into warrior. So here's your warrior 2 first of all. Okay, so try it yourself. Maybe you can make that position first of all. So just go into warrior 2 and see if you can get that looking really similar. Really similar. Your warrior 2. The real difference with warrior 2 compared to warrior 1 is that you're opened out in the posture. Something that is the same through your warrior 1 and 2 is your legs, okay? And that's probably one of the most important things here. So what I want you to think about with the leg position is, if we were starting at the front here, you've got that right foot at the front, okay? So we're going to do warrior with the right foot here. You've got both heels in line with each other. It's a big step out, quite similar to when we did that horse riding pose. Big step out, the same as what we did there. And what you'll do from here is you bend your front knee, okay? So let's set this foundation up. I've got that front foot facing forwards, the back foot. As you'll see here, I'm not out to the side and my foot's not pointing backwards. And this makes sense as we go into other postures as well, because we have more of a seamless transition if we actually have this back foot in the right place. So I've actually got this like 45-degree angle. It's not forwards, which is pretty hard to do, not out at that 90-degree angle compared to the front foot. I've got that back foot at a 45-degree angle. So try and do that now. Try and screw it around. You'll start to feel that stretch through your calf, okay? You'll feel that straight away. And you might have a tendency of your knee wanting to do this. I want to straighten that leg out and then the bend through this front knee. And you'll see here, my knee is over my ankle, okay? It's not forwards like this. Usually people who have a short step back, they've got, they're working against themselves, okay? Because to actually get into it deeper, you start getting really like putting your knee under a lot of unneeded pressure. So what we need to do there is just bend in through that front knee. That back foot out to the side. And what we do from here is we drop down with the pelvis until we get this big stretch through here, calf. And then this front knee, one of the common ones is this knee to drop into the center. So we're driving that knee out towards the side. So that is our lower part of our body in essence. What we do from here is with warrior 2 is we bring our arms up. We haven't got this shoulder forwards like this. We're opened out fully towards that left-hand side of the room. Okay, our palms are facing down. My shoulders aren't up towards my ears. I've got a nice relaxed position with my shoulders. You know, if you've got shoulder issues, if you find it hard to have your arms out the side without using your upper traps, then that can be a real issue. Okay, you can spread your fingers apart or you can bring them together. It's up to you. I like having them spread apart. Okay, I've got my shoulders relaxed and I'm turning my head all the way through to that front hand. You should feel that through your legs straight away. And if you find it hard to open out, what you'll probably be is maybe lacking in a bit of thoracic rotation through the middle of your back. So looking over that front hand, make sure that that stable foundation hasn't collapsed anywhere. Make sure it's there, nice and strong. Okay, and then pop yourself back through towards the front. We're going to try it on the other side before we move on to our warrior 1. Set up the same position. Back foot, 45-degree angle. Bending through the front knee. It's nice having this opposite view. Okay, push the knee out towards the side and reach up with the hands. Okay, reaching out all the way, looking over that front hand, so the sort of middle finger. That's where you want to be directing, and not just your eyes, your whole head is turning round. Okay, and you're looking out over there. Make sure that knee's pushed out towards the side, nice straight back leg. And what the issue here is, depending on how much flexibility you've got, if I'm really tight through, say, my hip on my right hand side, as I try to go into it deeper, I'll want to bend this knee, okay? I want to bend this knee and offload things. So you have to go down to a height that feels like you can maintain the same position. If it feels like you're starting to collapse through that foundation, then don't go any further down. Okay, so there's your warrior 2. Warrior 1, the main difference is, or the only difference is, your arm position. So your warrior 1 is here. Set up that foundation. In fact, I'll show you it first. Okay, as you can see there, there's loads, I think there's loads more upper body with this, and actually a bit more flexibility through your upper body and also through the lower body as well. So when you're coming into this, there's a little bit of a variation you can use. Now if you find it hard to have, just in a standing position, having your arms in towards your ears with your palms together, you're going to find it even harder when you're in a warrior 1. So what I want you to do when you're in warrior 1 is just see what it's like first of all. Bringing your hands up, okay, and if it feels too much, what I want you to do is just spread your arms apart and have them apart. Imagine you're holding a football in between your hands. Now the difference with this one and warrior 1 to warrior 2, like I said, we're doing this in reverse order, is that with warrior 1, you are trying to get your hips facing towards the front of the mat. We're not opening out like we're in warrior 2, we're coming round, keeping our hips facing forward, which actually is a little bit harder. You're going to feel more of a strain through here, through the hip, okay, for your hip flexors. And what you do from that point is both hands come together and you reach them up into the sky. Okay, so keep everything pointing forwards. Like I say, take your hands apart if it feels too much. Palms come together and I'm looking up towards my thumbs up into the sky. If you feel like your balance is going, just look straight ahead. Don't let that foundation collapse though. All right, bring your hands down. And this turns into a pretty hard posture. If you're in the same position as me, doing exactly what I'm doing, your legs are going to be fired up at this moment in time. Let's go on the other side from here. So we've got the right foot back. Okay, so back foot from there. 45-degree angle, set up the position. And even just go into that warrior 2 so you can transition from warrior 2 to warrior 1, which is actually a really nice thing to do. Twist the hips through, okay? Twist them through to the front, hands apart or together. Maintain that position. Good. Drop down with the hips as far as you feel you can keep that posture, maybe just up here with the hips forwards. If you feel like you're going down and you're getting spat off towards the side, come out of it a little bit, okay? Look up towards your thumbs, pin the elbows in towards the ears, reaching up into the sky. Squeeze those elbows together, loads of activation going on there, and glutes on, okay? Especially if you're reaching up there, if you feel it through your lower back, it means that you're trying to compensate with that. So squeeze through the back, squeeze through the bum, sorry, just to stabilize the spine. Okay, and then pop yourself out with that again. So there's your warrior 1 and your warrior 2. What I'm going to show you now is how to transition out of a warrior 2 and a warrior 1. And usually we're going into warrior 1 and warrior 2 throughout a class. Okay, it's not just a case of, right, go into warrior 2 and you're there, okay, for the class, or you just end up in it. You have to get into it some way. So the first way that I'm going to show you is stepping back, okay, and a lot of balance involved with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start in a pranasana position and give this a go. I'm going to pick up my left foot and just balance yourself there. And what I'm going to do here is going to hinge back. So it's like when we did the sun salutation. So if you look at this position in my back, okay, a little bit like the sun salutation that we did before. You're hinging back and you're going to kick that foot towards the rear and try and reach back, okay? And what I'm trying to do here is with precision and movement, I've done this plenty of times, is that I'm trying to get that same foot position that I need for warrior two. So I come from that into warrior two, looking over the front hand. That's the sort of step back into warrior. Transition into warrior one. Okay, we're going to transition out of warrior one, okay, or warrior two here. But we're going to do it from warrior one. What I'll do is I'll come down with both hands. You can do this with me. Pull the right foot back, and I come into downward facing dog. Now I'm going to go through the opposite side here, using another way of getting into warrior. So like we did for the sun salutation, going into horse riding pose, I'm going to bring my left foot up. Okay, and I'm going to bring my left foot as far up, squeeze up. All right, and I'm into this position now. And this is for the more advanced yogi I'm going to show you now, is that what I can do when I bring that foot forwards is I can encourage that knee pushing out by actually popping my left knee out underneath my armpit. If that feels like a bit confusing, just don't worry about it. Just forget what I'm saying. Okay, but now I'm going to set up from this position. If I have my knee into the center, I'm just going to do it that way. I drop my heel down, so I create that warrior position with my legs. And I'm going to come up into warrior one, and then transition into warrior two, and then come back towards the front. So I set up my position through my legs. And when I wind this right arm out like a big windmill, all the way to the back, the left arm comes up, and I come into warrior two on my left hand side. Okay, so there's a transition there. I bring the hands up together, come into warrior one, or hands apart, whichever one you want. And then here's quite a tough bit to do, is bringing that right foot back up towards the left. And I'm going to bring my hands back down into that Pranayama position when I get to the front. So I go ping, right foot comes up, and hands come down. Trying to have that precision and movement there again, where both feet come together. So pretty hard to do. I'm going to do that on the other side now. So bring your hands together, do this in a little bit more flowing fashion. Bring my right foot up, hinge, right foot comes back. Make sure you've got it set up if that was a bit dodgy when you did that. I open up into my warrior two, warrior one, hands down either side of the front foot. Left foot comes back into downward facing dog. I'm going to go right foot this time into the sky, right foot forwards. That's it. Set up your position. I'm losing my microphone here. Technical issue. Okay, left hand comes up, I wind round. Don't worry about my microphone maybe hanging between my legs at this moment in time. It's all good fun. Look over that front leg, twist through into warrior one. And then ping up to the front, hands down into Pranayama. And there you go. That is your warrior one and your warrior two. Obviously doing them in reverse, warrior two and then warrior one first. And then some transitions in and out. If you feel like that's a bit jolty and not like a flowing motion, then go back through this one. When you come into the classes, these are all the bits that make it that lovely flowing sequence of posture to posture, from breath to breath. And that's what makes yoga this bit of a dance, okay? It's what makes it this dance rather than this jolty one movement to the next. Well done. There's your warrior one and two. You've also done your sun salutation now. Let's go on to the next set of postures.